Don't get too used to the comforts of Paradise.
Hey, it's the envoy!
Envoy, hey!
I swear, I owe you the world.
I owe her the world. She saved my life, remember?
Yeah, you only told me about 100 times.
Hey, where's Yeda? Is everyone else on their way? No.
Oh, gods. Does she mean...
They didn't make it off, Rick. I'm sorry.
But you saved Cadman. You couldn't save them? Or you didn't try?
What happened? That godless scum.
What?
They probably went quickly, if that helps.
I can't understand this.
Hey, Offric, hey, listen. We always knew that was a risk, right? And we told ourselves.
Better to go out at the bottom of the world or the top. And dying in bed like Granda, asking what if.
Did you avenge them? Is the Oracle dead? At least they got justice.
And I got my brother back.
Don't be a baby. You would have been fine without me.
What I mean to say is, we're grateful, Envoy. Ambassador Heelguard has written to Expedition Command back in High Crown to see if they'll let us come home.
Well, while we wait for their reply, I thought...
Wait. Let me guess. Mermaid's Den.
You told him?
It was a moment of weakness. I thought I was dead. Oh, that reminds me. I wanted to give you this. It belonged to our grandfather. He'd always wanted to join the Corps, but life got in the way. When we were recruiting, he gave it to us to remind us to live well.
Well, I'm sure you've got big Envoy things to do.
I don't know if you heard, but there's a plague on and everything.
If you're ever in High Crown, look us up.
Yeah, we can drink to the Corps together.
I wish things had turned out better for the rest of their crew, but I'm glad they made it. One of them may even get a happy ending.
Envoy, glad to see you're still with us. How can I help you? There's a lot of ground to cover. Could you be more specific? Ah, the age-old question. Who's bigger? Adir is, naturally, by a wide margin. And were we at the Cartographers Guild in High Crown, I could show you on one of their globes. As it is, we must make do in the theater of our minds. The living lands are more arid than Adir, and the island is more prone to storms. But its many deep valleys protect the various townships from the worst of the weather. Topographically speaking, the living lands are a place of extremes. Deep inland, mountains rise high enough to rival those of the White March, blanketed year-round in snow. While east of the volcano of Mount Forja is an acid sea that sinks far below the level of the ocean. The lands between them are riven with deep clefts in the earth and isolated by wastelands of sun-baked sand dunes. The living lands are located in the far north of Aora. Adir is southwest of the living lands, situated along the equator. I'll share what I can. There is no singular authority in the living lands.
Not yet, anyway.
I shudder to think what the living lands would look like under your rule.
Well, to start, there'd be a lot more brothels.
Charming. Power is invested in the leaders of the various townships scattered across the island. The largest are Fjord, Thirdborn, and Solace. None of which, I will note, are as safe and orderly as Paradise. Fjord Messaverno is located in a valley known locally as the Emerald Stair, named for the terraced rice paddies that cover its hillsides. It is our closest neighbor. The city, if you can call it that, was founded 50 years ago by animancers from the Valian Republics. Apparently, the laws governing animancy weren't lenient enough in the Republics. So the city's founders came to the living lands, where they could practice their discipline more freely. Currently, Fjord is governed by a man named Ignacy Vidaro. Rather inept to hear the ambassador talk about him. Fjord's farmers supply most of the grain and vegetables we eat here in Paradise. Or it did. Their shipments have been infrequent lately. Something about a blight in the fields. In any event, I believe that covers Fjord. The Valian Republics are a collection of city-states in the Eastern Reach, southeast of our former colony, the Deerwood. The Republics began life as colonies of the Grand Empire of Valia, hence the name. But as Grand Valia's economy collapsed, well, the colony saw an opportunity to escape the influence of the Empire of Origin, and they seceded, much as the Deerwood did from Adir. Now a mature confederation in their own right, the Republics have recently indulged their own expansionist ambitions in the Deadfire Archipelago. Through their merchants in the Valian Trading Company, the Republics will sell you anything you could ever wish to buy.
Up to and including people.
We should count ourselves lucky they've had no interest in the living lands. In a struggle between our Emperor and the Republic's great dukes, well, I doubt we would come out on top. But if anyone asks, I was not the one who told you that. Everything you need to know about Thirdborn is in its name. It was founded by the Thirdborn children of Rawatai, Navy dropouts, smugglers, and hands for hire. Almawa and Orleans, mostly.
Home, sweet home.
You're free to go back any time you like.
I like my current circumstances just fine, thanks.
They are a people, in short, who couldn't cut it in the civilized world, and had to make room on the margins. Unfortunately, they are currently besieged by the Dream Scourge. We have sent some troops to lend what help we can, and the mayor, Temerity, was appropriately grateful, but I don't know how long they'll hold out. Rawatai is one of the old empires, every bit as storied as Grand Valia or our native Adir. If Adir is to the southwest of the Living Lands, Rawatai is to the southeast. And unlike our home, their small continent is racked by terrible storms. This is due, or rather, was due, to the island's proximity to Andra's mortar, the unending super hurricane that once hid the ancient city of Ukaizo. Rawatai is largely peopled by Aumaua, descended from those who fled the Deadfire Archipelago centuries ago, when Andra pulled the moon, Ioni Brather, into the sea. They are an aggressive, militant culture, and personally, I find their obsession with gunpowder rather quaint. They are also our chief rivals on the world stage.
I don't think they see it that way.
No?
Well, as far as Navy brass is concerned, Adir doesn't really rate.
Now you're just making things up.
Sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but we don't think about you at all.
Solace is, what is there to say, really?
Yeah, they tend to have that effect on people.
The trouble is, I don't know much about Solace. Nobody does. They are an isolationist community of Pagrunan dwarves who live in the forbidding ways of Galawain's tusks. They don't let outsiders into their lands, and they don't let their people out of them.
Some folks get out from time to time, but they can't ever go back. And the ones who survive aren't eager to talk about their experiences.
People aside, the land itself is incredibly hostile. The island's volcano, Mount Forja, rests at the heart of the region, and it's recently become active. Half the land is lava rock, and the other half is, well, literally lava. I don't know why anyone lives there. I have to assume they're all insane.
You have no idea.
Naturally. The Pagrunan are a unique community of mountain dwarves originating in Old Valia. As a people, they've made their name as explorers, builders, miners. No doubt you've seen their ruins in your travels, here, back home in Adir, and all across the world. They maintain a rich tradition of oral storytelling, chanted magics, and ritual carving, which they take great pains to record and transmit across their various communities. Even the most physically isolated Pagrun is not alone. Somewhere, one of their people is thinking of them and planning an expedition. Abidan must cherish them.
You sound like you admire them.
I suppose I do. By all means. Consider yourself lucky. Inquisitor Ludwine is the commander of the Steel Garrote in Paradise. Were you to ask her, she'd say she keeps the peace. But she doesn't keep it so much as prosecute it. As ruthlessly as the ambassador will let her. She's also a veteran of the Steel Garrote's campaign in the Deadfire, where she died.
She's a Death Guard. Well, that explains a lot.
I don't know what happened to her there, but I suppose Wodaka wasn't done with her yet. Think upon your promises and die. That's the litany of the Steel Garrote, usually said right before they kill you. They're an order of paladins born and bred in Adir, though clearly they've found plenty of work beyond our borders. Their remit is simple but comprehensive. They punish all who break their oaths. In practice, that has historically meant contracts. One lord or merchant will hire the Steel Garrote to bring a duplicitous rival to justice.
Fun bunch. What are they doing in Paradise?
Since the events in the Deadfire, their operations have expanded. The Steel Garrote has always been associated with Wodaka. Now, they are explicitly her order. And they go wherever Wodaka's priests, or Wodaka herself, believes there is a need for them to go. The Living Lands are a dangerous, lawless frontier in sore need of order. Thus, they are here. Or so the Steel Garrote say. I only met her once. She was a mid-level member of the Steel Garrote then, chasing oathbreakers who'd fled Adiran law. She'd come back to the Imperial Archives to borrow a map to a place called Oathbinder's sanctum. I remember she was furious because the map was quite poor. She worried about finding the place, about properly executing her duty to her god. She wanted, I think, to do a good job. So, while clearly she has changed, in some sense, I'd say she's much the same. Do you think so? I've always found her inflexibility comforting. Boudica's edicts are clear. If you obey her laws, pursue justice, punish the guilty, and give fealty to the Emperor, then you have pleased her, and I aim to please. But Boudica does not trust. She demands that you declare yourself for her again and again. Her every request is a test, and her every test is an opportunity to disappoint her. I appreciate a god who makes you work for their grace. I don't want anything given to me for free. Safe travels, envoy.
Envoy, is it really you? I can't believe you're alive. When they dragged you to Liviana's clinic, I assumed the worst. How do you feel? And yet you rallied your spirits and reported for duty. Your dedication is admirable. But we'll return to the topic of your untimely demise shortly. Our first order of business is your purpose here in the Living Lands. You said you had a missive for me from the Emperor? Very good. I'm eager to see what our Emperor intends. Now, His Majesty names you a loyal servant of the Adiran Empire, and an extension of the throne's authority. Thank goodness. At least someone understands the gravity of our situation. Here's something to tide you over. But your work isn't finished just yet. You've seen how wild the Living Lands has become, both in nature and in politics. Sometimes I think the island has a mind of its own. No sooner had you arrived than you found yourself at the center of our troubles. Trust me, we'll get to that. This embassy has no shortage of political foes, but the Dream Scourge is what keeps me up at night. You've seen firsthand what it can do in nature. We can't let it reach the cities. Inquisitor Ludwig thinks the plague is a distraction. She's more concerned about these local rebels fighting against the Empire. At least rebels know the meaning of negotiation and compromise. But a plague kills indiscriminately. Though, even I must admit, the rebels have gone too far. They've sabotaged our work, killed our soldiers, and the final straw, attacked you out in the open. Indeed, the killer sent a message, but this is our chance to send one in return. I won't lie to you, Envoy. Our position is tenuous. If we can't even defend ourselves, how are we to defend the Living Lands? But defend it we must, for the sake of everyone who calls this island home. Inquisitor Ludwig demands that someone hang for the attempt on your life. These Paradisen rebels must face justice. We both report to higher powers, but hers are less forgiving than mine. Ludwig goes where she likes, haunting the Living Lands like a vengeful spirit. She'll reappear when she chooses, and not a moment sooner. Let's make sure to give her some good news for a change.
Not many get a chance to solve their own murder, you know. I know someone who could help. A dwarven tracker named Marius. Kith or beast, there's little he can't find. He's staying at the Grinning Ballarrock, not far from Liviana's infirmary. We just take the main road east to the market, then head down the stairs and cross the canal. Rough part of town, even by the standards of Paradise. Marius is from the Tusks, about the harshest and remotest place the gods ever created, even by the standards of the Living Lands.
Trickery, lies. The gods did not build this place.
Let's just say no one survives out there without picking up a few skills, the kind we'll need if we're going to find hidden assassins. Especially if they're from the streets of Paradise.
I suggest you recruit as many allies as you can, but choose carefully. They, like you, will represent the Empire. But before we can send you off to parts unknown, we need assurances from the local healer that you're fully recovered. After all, you survived a brush with death. The health of your body is one thing. The health of your soul is another. An unusual course of treatment, but who am I to argue? Remember, the assassin is out there. You have the element of surprise. I suggest you use it. Oh, I wish I could see the killer's face when they realize the hunter has become the hunted. We'll talk more of the Dream Scourge when you return. Until then, Envoy,
How about we start with Marius at the Grinning Ballarok? Besides, I could use a drink after all this.
You've got some god looking out for you.
Keep one hand on your coin purse.
Walk in, give her the letter, and go. You can do this. You don't have to say anything. The letter will do the talking for you. Sort of. Maybe you can help. I was seeing this girl, Nasha, down at the bathhouse. I'm sure it was just business at first, but we fell in love. I haven't been in a while, though. And the thing is, I've met someone else. That's what everyone tells me. They just couldn't see what we had. I wrote her a letter, but I'm too cowardly to deliver it. If you're headed that way, would you mind giving it to her? Thank you. I used to wonder why no one talked about this. Now I understand. Nasha should be working right now. The place is called the Mermaid's Den. It's the big one with the balcony and the round window.
High Market. A haven of opulence in an otherwise nice city.
Clavager Aiden allowed these interlopers onto our streets. And where did it get him? Slain! Murdered!
We must stand against tyranny!
The adherents never should have come here!
You, Adirin! You herald the end of our way of life! You are a scourge upon our city! You can enforce your laws on the mainland, but you cannot stop me here. Paradise will never concede to you. You represent everything they stand for. You will find no peace here.
If you have to ask, you can't afford it. We should stop by Sansa's sometime. There's nothing like it, that's for sure.
Welcome, welcome! I was hoping you would drop in.
Did the two heads take turns, or was this guy twice as hungry? Admit it. You want to hit it. Just once. Wouldn't want to mix your communal meals bowl with your ashes of the dead bowl. I hope whoever stuffed that covered their nose and mouth.
You're back. What have you found? I warned Kirmund about those Zaribs. It was Zaribs, wasn't it? Oh, on second thought, don't tell me. Please, keep searching. I'm sure the others will turn up soon.
Don't sign any petitions, no matter what anyone says.
Do you really think the adherents killed the Claviger?
Are you kidding? Even the High Inquisitor would do that. They know.
Hey, so close. But what's the point? It's useless. Oh, you are a special one, you are. I thought all the godlikes were taken back, wherever they came from. Don't mean a thing by it. I'm glad to see not all the gods have abandoned us. I know we had one or two disappear lately. Gods took them back, I heard. Just another sign, I guess? You should know, this place is heading quickly into a swamp of madness. Even the plants and the animals feel it. I would say welcome to the living lands, but things have gotten even stranger lately. Sapiento di Falva, alchemist and dreamer, at your service. My latest experiment was meant to solve the scourge that has come over the local flora and fauna, but it wasn't meant to be. I expected my main reagent to be delivered today, but I suppose the gods had other ideas. Quite likely. Tell me, was it drooling? I'd love to... never mind. Neither here nor there. No one knows how best to describe it, but we can all see it. Something is distorting the life around here, and I hoped to stop it. Possibly, yes. But now I can't begin my tests without my main reagent. I have everything I need, but the most important part, the luminous Adra, to cleanse the souls of the wildlife. The gentlemen who are supposed to acquire my Adra have not delivered it, and they seem to be avoiding me, as if they fear my wrath. At this point, I'll take any help I can get. My friends must have lied, or they got the Adra and lost it. I can't imagine why else they would be acting so strange about it. Best of luck with that. I saw them briefly not too long ago, looking shifty and desperate. They were running around the paradise, talking to other scholars in the area. Ganeth and Remio, I believe. And an older lady. Don't recall her name. I'd be very grateful. I know it looks like I'm crying, but it's from the acrid fumes I inhaled earlier. Any luminous adra will do, he said, as if the stuff were falling from the sky.
Step right up. I can tell you need more fire in your life. Or maybe more essence. Please buy something. I'm trying to prove a point. My sister, the blacksmith, she doesn't think this will work out. I say she's wrong. Why keep a dagger under your pillow when you can use a ward stone instead?
Are you sure this will work?
You should see the drunks try to grab the lanterns.
Good, sir. I'd bet my life on it. My formula is the...
I've tried 3 of these cures before. Why should yours be different?
If I gave my secret out, it wouldn't be special, would it? Now remember, 3 drops every time you wash your hair. Only on the scalp, though.
Why?
You don't want to see the man who put it on his chest. Oh dear, envoy. You look like you could use my product. Results in as few as... Oh dear, envoy. You look like you could use my product.
You there. You look like you know your way around... hello. I heard what happened. I see why you'd want to protect yourself. Probably because I made them. Or most of them, anyway. I've already been paid for them. If Volter happens to stumble onto them later, what can I do? You mean enchanted? No. A shield does its job just fine. It doesn't need to be tinkered with. Talk to my sister if you're interested in that kind of thing. She's over there. At least I don't think she's blown herself up yet. I just think well, maybe. I'm still taller, though. By a hair's breadth. If I stand up straight.
Envoy. Are you looking for work by chance? A pleasure, Envoy. I'm Aldrich, the Bounty Master of Paradise. If it suits your fancy, check the board for work. The dangerous kind. Some more than others. Speak to me when you've got something to turn in. Hey, someone had to take the job. Ensuring that these threats to the good people of Paradise are eliminated is my way of helping. I guess I consider it my first steps down a long road to atonement. Apologies, friend, but that's none of your concern. I left there for a reason, and now I'm here. And that's all you need to know. Be safe out there, you hear?
The hunters set that up as a way to earn some
You're a brave soul, envoy. Spiders are bad enough as is. Oh, Octave. Now that's a dwarf with a chip on his shoulder. Heard he burnt the last ones that went after him alive. Going to take on the ogre then? Reckon he's the most dangerous bounty we've got. Be careful now. Tempestuous Luandi Kalcherai, huh? Watch yourself. Her aim is as sharp as her wit. Ain't many ways into that camp from what I've heard. You might want to consider trying to find one. A frontal assault would be mighty reckless.